The epic history of Japan, from myth to modern power. What if I told you that the story of Japan is not just about samurai and sushi, but about an island nation that rose from isolation to become one of the most advanced civilizations on Earth? This is the journey of Japan, a tale of gods and warriors, emperors and shoguns, destruction and rebirth. Let's travel through time, from ancient myths to neon skylines. 1. Ancient beginnings, the age of the gods and early settlers. Our story begins thousands of years ago, in a land shrouded in mist where myth and history merge. According to legend, Japan was created by the gods Izanagi and Izanami, and their divine descendants gave birth to the Yamato clan, the foundation of the Japanese imperial line, a lineage said to continue unbroken even today. But beyond the myths, archaeology reveals that Japan's first inhabitants were the Jomon people, hunter-gatherers who lived as early as 14,000 BCE, famous for their pottery, some of the oldest in the world. Later came the Yue people around 300 BCE, bringing rice cultivation, metal tools, and a new way of life that transformed these islands forever. From small farming villages emerged powerful clans, and by the 3rd century CE, Japan's first unified kingdom was taking shape, the Yamato state, ruled by emperors who claimed divine descent from the sun goddess Amaterasu. 2. The rise of empires and the samurai spirit. By the 6th century, Japan began absorbing influences from nearby China and Korea. Buddhism, writing, and advanced governance structures reshaped society. Temples rose, art flourished, and Japan entered a golden age under rulers like Prince Shotoku, who promoted Buddhism and established the country's first constitution. But beneath this spiritual calm, power struggles brewed. By the 9th century, the imperial court's grip weakened, and military clans began to dominate. Out of these turbulent times rose a new class, the samurai, Japan's legendary warrior elite bound by honor, discipline, and loyalty. In the late 12th century, the Minamoto clan seized control, founding Japan's first shogunate, a military government led by Minamoto no Yoritomo in Kamakura. From that moment, real power shifted from the emperor's palace in Kyoto to the sword-wielding shoguns. 3. Mongols, civil wars, and the age of warring states. Japan's might was soon tested. In 1274 and 1281, the Mongol Empire under Kublai Khan launched massive invasions, but both were destroyed by violent typhoons, later called kamikaze or divine winds. These storms became symbols of Japan's divine protection and national pride. However, peace didn't last. By the 15th century, Japan descended into chaos, the Sengoku period, or Age of Warring States. Rival warlords known as daimyo fought endlessly for control, and the land burned under constant conflict. Yet from this darkness emerged 3 visionaries who would reshape Japan. Oda Nobunaga, who began unifying the country through fire and force. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who completed much of the unification and even dreamed of conquering China, and Tokugawa Ieyasu, who established lasting peace under a new regime. 4. The Tokugawa shogunate. Minus 250 years of peace and isolation. In 1603, Tokugawa Ieyasu became shogun and founded the Tokugawa shogunate in Edo, modern Tokyo. This era brought stability, strict social order, and prosperity, but also isolation. Japan closed itself off from most of the world under the Shikoku policy, allowing only limited trade with the Dutch and Chinese through the port of Nagasaki. For over 2 centuries, Japan lived in a bubble, refining its art, literature, and culture. This was the age of samurai codes, kabuki theater, haiku poetry, and exquisite craftsmanship. But while Japan perfected its traditions, the outside world was changing fast, powered by science, steam, and gunpowder. 5. The Black Ships and the End of Isolation. Then, in 1853, black smoke appeared on Japan's horizon. American warships under Commodore Matthew Perry arrived, demanding Japan open its ports to trade. The shogunate, unable to resist Western pressure, signed unequal treaties, and the once isolated nation was forced to confront the modern world. The people of Japan were divided. Some wanted to fight the foreigners, others wanted to modernize. This struggle culminated in the Meiji Restoration of 1868, when power returned to the emperor, marking the end of the shogunate and the birth of modern Japan. 6. The Meiji era, The birth of a modern nation, the Meiji leaders transformed Japan at lightning speed. They abolished feudalism, built railways, introduced Western education and technology, and created a powerful army and navy. In just a few decades, Japan evolved from a medieval society into a modern industrial state. But modernization came with ambition. Japan began expanding its influence, defeating China in 1895.